Bude Canal, quiet and serene today, used very little for shipping, contrary to its younger days when Bude was a very busy port. After trial and tribulation, the Bude Harbour and Canal Company was formed in 1819, an Act of Parliament granted in that year for the construction of the canal to terminate 3 miles from Launceston. Work commenced in July 1819, and Lord Stanhope, prime mover in the project, travelled from his home in Kent to lay the first stone for the new breakwater. Construction work was comparatively speedy, and the canal finally opened for traffic in July 1823, with 50-foot barges operating on it. This picture shows the work of the port in progress, with 3 ships alongside the lower wharf. The one on the right was called the Kindly Light, which was sunk by a German submarine in the First World War. A swing bridge crossed the canal, which enabled ships to pass through to the upper basin. This is a new swing bridge made of iron, which replaced the earlier wooden one. Other points of interest in this picture is the Falcon Hotel, which changed extensively in the years to come. Petherick's warehouses alongside the upper basin. This building, until recently, looks very similar to this picture, but now the building is the headquarters of Adventure Days. As you can see, it has been modernised. After the upper basin, the canal begins to narrow and head towards Marhamchurch, and then onwards to the Great Hobbocut Incline, rising 225 feet and 935 feet in height. It was worked by water power. The system involved 2 wells sunk at the top of the plain, corresponding in depth to its vertical rise, and each of which the descent of an enormous bucket, 10 foot in diameter and 5 foot 6 deep, suspended on a chain wound over a drum and containing 15 tons of water, provided the power for raising the boats. As the bucket hit the bottom, a valve in its base opened and allowed water to escape along a drainage channel to the canal's lower level. The second empty bucket, meanwhile, had been raised to the top, ready for use. The whole system was well planned, and when in working order, worked extremely well. But due to the construction problems and materials used, breakdowns were frequent. Often the chains broke in the process of pulling up a barge, and therefore sent the barge back down the incline, often crashing into awaiting barges. From Hobbocut, the canal's main trunk ran eastwards to Red Post. Here the canal divided into the Holsworthy route and the Launceston route. The third was a feeder arm which ran toward Tamar Lake, which was built for the purpose of topping up the canal. The 70-acre reservoir of 195 million gallons capacity was fed by the river's floodwater and other minor streams. From 1894, the reservoir was open for fishing to try to get more revenue. It was also at this time that the reservoir was used as a water supply for Bude, which until then was dependent upon unsatisfactory wells and pumps. Tamar Lake today presents a scene of considerable beauty and is of great interest to ornithologists and anglers.